This is a true story and it's pretty fucked up. One of my employees wakes up every day but Sunday, comes to work and busts his ass, physical labor, and in return we pay him about $60,000 per year. And after the government takes out the taxes and the kid pays his rent and buys his food and pays his basic bills, he's pretty much broke. But that's not the fucked up part. The fucked up part's coming. One day at work, this kid starts complaining about sharp pains in his stomach and off to the side of his groin. So we tell him to go to the hospital and see what's going on. The hospital runs a couple of tests, says he's completely normal, and sends him back to work with a fat-ass $1,100 bill. A few days later, he's still complaining about the pain, so we send him back to the hospital, where once again, they tell him he's completely fine, they give him some antibiotics, and they send him home with another fat-ass bill. At this point, this kid owes $2,200 to the hospital and still has no idea what's wrong with him. A few days after that, on a third trip to the hospital finally locates and identifies two hernias, one right below his belly button, another off to the side of his groin. And the only way to fix those is to have a surgery that costs $56,000. The entire procedure took 3 hours. So his first trip to the ER, he spent maybe 2 hours. His second trip to the ER, he spent maybe another 2 hours. And then during the surgery, he was there for about 3 hours. A grand total of 7 hours worth of half-assed medical care cost him 60 grand. That's his entire year. Why the f do we have to work for an entire year for 7 hours worth of medical treatment? How the f is that justified? And the more up part is that had this individual just taken a simple vacation to Mexico, they could have got the entire procedure done for only $1,000. The good news for some of you is that there are certain programs and grants that will help you with these medical bills. But that's only if you make under a certain amount of money. That's only if you don't own a home. That's only if you don't own a vehicle. Oh, and guess what? When you make 60 grand a year, you don't qualify for any of that. So this kid's